Lucas's 8th adventure, discovering the Lilliputian city in the forest. In the morning, Lucas rode his bicycle home from the city. Halfway through the ride, the sky suddenly became overcast, and it started to rain heavily. The raindrops hit the leaves and made a crisp sound. Lucas hurriedly looked for a place to shelter from the rain, and finally found a stone cave by the road. He pushed his bike into the cave and temporarily avoided the rain. When he took a short rest in the cave, he was surprised to find that there was a wonderful miniature city deep in the cave. This was a Lilliputian city. Many little people were busy moving around. He approached quietly, and when he accidentally stepped on a branch and made a sound, the little people turned their heads to look at him. Then there were panicked screams, and some hid behind the bushes.
Oh my God, it's a giant!
The voice was trembling. Seeing this, Lucas immediately raised his hands and tried to speak in a gentle tone.
Don't be afraid. I'm not a bad person. I don't mean to disturb you. I just strayed in here to avoid the rain.
The little people still stared at Lucas warily. At this time, a little man wearing a red pointed hat said,
Everyone calm down. Maybe he doesn't mean any harm.
The little man in the red pointed hat plucked up the courage to step forward and asked,
You, who are you? Why did you come to our Lilliput country?
Lucas bent down slightly. He smiled friendly and said,
I am Lucas, an ordinary teenager. I really didn't mean to break in here. I just found this cave to avoid the rain because it was raining, and I didn't expect to find such a wonderful place.
The little man in the red pointed hat turned his head and said to the little people behind him,
He doesn't look like a bad person.
The little man in the red pointed hat said,
Come with me first. We have to take you to see the queen. Only she can decide how to deal with this situation.
Lucas nodded, and Lucas was taken to the Queen of Lilliput country. The queen looked noble and worried. The queen said,
Welcome, Lucas. I heard that you are a kind visitor, but our country is in crisis. I need your help.
Lucas asked curiously.
What happened?
The queen sighed.
The ring people on the other side of the forest rob our food every once in a while. They are tall and strong, but clumsy, and often bully us with intimidation and violence. Our little people are too weak to fight against them.
Lucas frowned after hearing this and said,
This is so unfair. Have you tried to reconcile with them?
The queen shook her head.
They don't listen at all. They only believe in strength. If we don't stop them, our people will not be able to survive.
Lucas said firmly,
I am willing to help you.
In the next few days, prepare to welcome the arrival of the ring people. Finally, the harvest day arrived, and the ring people arrived as promised. They were tall and strong, but looked ferocious, and shouted loudly,
Hand over your food, otherwise we will smash your house.
The little man in the red pointed hat was scared, and suddenly, a giant, Lucas's tall figure, stood out from behind the stone. Stop! Lucas's voice was loud. The people around were stunned by the scene before their eyes.
Where did this giant come from? How could there be such a monster in Lilliput?
Lucas bent down and said calmly,
My name is Lucas, and I am a friend of Lilliput. Their food is earned through sweat and hard work, and you have no right to rob them. If you dare to bully them again, you will have to face me.
Lucas gently pulled a small tree with his right hand. Seeing this scene, the ring people took several steps back in fear. They knew that this giant could not resist it at all. Lucas said sternly,
Then use your labor to exchange. There are plenty of resources in the forest. If you are willing to cooperate with Lilliput and stop using violence to solve problems, everyone can live in peace. Otherwise, I will come back at any time to protect my friends.
The ring people finally lowered their heads.
Okay, we admit defeat. We are willing to cooperate.
The Queen of Lilliput came out and said to the Huanren with a smile,
From today on, we welcome you to join the labor in the forest. As long as you are willing to exchange your efforts for food, we will no longer be enemies, but friends.
The Huanren looked at each other and finally nodded in agreement. The residents of Lilliput cheered and thanked Lucas for his help.
You are our eternal hero.
Lucas smiled and said,
You're welcome. I just hope that all lives can live equally.
Lucas stood in front of the gate of Lilliput and waved goodbye to the little people. The queen and the residents reluctantly sent him away. Lucas was full of satisfaction. He understood that sometimes courage can not only bring victory, but also peace and understanding. When he returned home, his mother was busy preparing dinner. The soup in the pot was steaming and the fragrance filled the whole house. Lucas said,
"It smells so good, I'm starving."
Mom smiled after hearing this. Lucas also said,
"Mom, today I understand a truth. Sometimes, strength is not used to bully others, but to protect and create peace. I also learned that when facing problems, communication and cooperation are more important than confrontation."
After hearing this, the mother gently touched his head, with a gratified light in her eyes.
This is a very valuable harvest, Lucas. You are already a great child.
Thank you for watching. Today's video ends here. See you next time. Bye-bye.